the nature of a PhD is that it's a very specific question that you're looking at, and it's a very narrow field of study.
I mean, this is going to be ideally the rest of your life. It's going to lead into a career in research.
So it's what you call a 1+3, so the first year is technically a master's programme. It's technically a separate degree, but basically it's meant as sort of a training foundational year.
Because you do 3 projects and you have a kind of like write-up and a presentation and then journal clubs, essays and stuff all in your first year, it gets you quite like up to standard.
To explore different areas and find for yourself what it is that you're really interested in and what you'd like to take forward for a PhD.
Cardiovascular disease is probably the major killer globally right now, so we need to develop better treatments for it.
Obviously BHF is a charity, and I really enjoy doing public engagement as well as doing the research. You can also explain a little bit about your research to the general public.
When I was growing up, I didn't know anything about what people in labs done or how research happened and things like that, so I think it's also quite important for trying to get people of a younger generation interested in potentially doing this as a career.
They have volunteers from the BHF come to the Institute, and see when you meet them and you hear their stories and what motivates them to volunteer. It's good to get the perspective of why you're here, what you're really doing it for.
Again, you're giving something back to BHF by participating in all these activities.
Yeah, it's been an incredibly friendly and supportive department.
Very, very easy to ask questions, which is, I think, really important in the beginning of your learning process.
In your master's year, we all have an office where the 5 of us kind of have as a base, and so you kind of feel like you have your own little group of people that are going through the exact same thing as you, as well as your actual lab groups that are separate from that as well.
There's a lot of collaborative work that goes on, so that if I've got a problem with a particular technique or a particular area that I'm not sure about, there's always people you can ask.
It's such a great environment. The peer support is absolutely incredible.
Doing my PhD, I've also enjoyed the social kind of side to it. Like everybody, anytime it's anyone's birthday, everybody goes down to the pub, or if it's just been a particularly gruelling week, everybody will trek down to the pub and sit and have a bit of an unwind. And
PhDs, it's a fantastic opportunity, but it is also a challenge. So to have a good support network throughout that challenge is immensely valuable.
Yeah, I personally have really enjoyed my PhD up to date, and I think it's a great thing to do, and I don't think you realise how much you yourself develop in the course of doing a PhD.
So if people are interested in cardiovascular research, then it's definitely a good way to be able to get a feel for things. And as I say, the staff have been really good.
I've got to say I'm absolutely loving it. It's even exceeded my expectations, which were very high in the first place.
I think it's a really worthwhile and really quite a satisfying thing to do. I think it's really worth it.